Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Romney Smith at WTOC for The News Now. This is where we bring you updates, the stories that we're working on for you right now. Thank you so much for giving us just a few minutes of your afternoon. We're on various platforms right now. That includes our website, WTOC.com, the WTOC News and weather apps, Amazon Fire, Roku, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. So there are a lot of places that you can reach us. The only one that you can interact with us directly, though, is Facebook. That's where you can leave a comment, ask a question. If I don't know the answer, I can always go back in the comment section later and get you a link to get you a little closer to the answer you're looking for. So we are still, of course, focused on Hurricane Florence, and just within the last 10 minutes, we have learned that we can officially call this a deadly storm. Unfortunately, the Wilmington Police Department in North Carolina tweeted this out, saying they can confirm the first 2 fatalities of Hurricane Florence in Wilmington. A mother and infant were killed when a tree fell on their house. The father was also inside that home. He was transported to a hospital with injuries. Now, before this actually started, they had a previous tweet that said that WPD, Wilmington Police Department, was on the scene of an incident involving a tree on a house on Mercer Avenue. They thought there were some people inside and they were working to figure it all out. A little bit later, that's when they sent out the follow-up tweet confirming that a mother and child died in Wilmington, North Carolina after a tree fell on their house. Again, for those of you just joining us, we are now calling Hurricane Florence deadly after the Wilmington Police Department in North Carolina confirmed that a mother and child died after a tree fell on their house today. So that is the most recent information. I see a lot of you guys on Facebook saying prayers to the family. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine this. One person saying sound, question mark. I don't have any other questions about sound, so just check your phone or your device to make sure the sound is up completely. But again, for those of you who are just joining us, this death not local. It is in Wilmington, North Carolina. You certainly know that the storm is kind of hovering right now in one particular area. Very sad news that we're following. As soon as we learn any more details about the mother's identity or how old that child is, we will certainly pass that along to you. But again, unfortunately, now we are calling Hurricane Florence a deadly storm. All right, I also want to get to more information about the storm. Let's get a live look right now from Myrtle Beach. This, of course, you see a little bit of precipitation on the lens, but there it is. We're taking a live look at Myrtle Beach, and Florence is moving at about 5 miles per hour. It's kind of hovering in one place, causing a lot of damage to the northeast part of the state in South Carolina and the southern part of the state in North Carolina. Again, it's expected to be a long storm because it's moving so slowly at 5 miles an hour right now. Just to show you what's been going on, it's expected to be really long 48 hours for them. And when we talk about power outages, 100,000 customers in the dark in South Carolina, and in North Carolina, more than 500,000, about 600,000 customers without power right now. Flash flood warnings are all over the place in South and North Carolina. They do have tropical storm force winds right now. And keep in mind what we're looking at in Myrtle Beach. Our sister station WPDE is there. This area was evacuated. South Carolina officials just weighing in with the governor speaking, saying around 441,000 South Carolinians evacuated. So good to know there's a reason that beach cam looks so empty, and that's because so many people heeded the warning to leave in that particular area. Also, speaking of beaches, but locally, WTOC's Harley Strickland finally the report updating us on Tybee.
Hey everyone, Harley Strickland here on Tybee Island. I want you to notice behind me what they're doing. Those double red flags out on Tybee Island are now coming down. The double red flag did mean that swimmers were not allowed in the water, but at this time they are taking those double red flags down, meaning people can get back in the water now. They went up because of those rip currents that could have been around and keeping people from swimming correctly or getting taken out to sea. But again, those double red flags are coming down here on Tybee Island. Of course, I'll be out here all day bringing you updates and speaking to people who are actually taken out of the water and now they're being allowed to go back in. So I'm gonna see what other information I can get and speak to some people, and I'll have more for you coming up later on The News.
All right, I also want to get to some of your comments really quickly before I move on to two other items we have on the list regarding shootings, one of them deadly. But before we move on from weather, I want to give a couple of updates for you. A lot of you guys continuing to weigh in and say prayers. Some of you joined us a little late. I want to go back to our lead story right now and a tweet that we found. Wilmington police in North Carolina confirming that we can now call Hurricane Florence deadly after a mother and infant were killed when a tree fell on their house. The father was also inside the home. He is now at the hospital with injuries. But again, for any of you who are hearing this, it is true. It is confirmed. A mother and child died today as a direct result of a tree falling in their house because of tropical storm force winds because of Hurricane Florence. This is a really sad update, but we do feel the need to let you guys know. And as soon as we get any more information on the name or age of that woman and her child, we will pass that along to you. I know, let's see, I've got a few questions. Jonathan Rowland saying, what about the nuclear power plants in way of the storm? So all of those nuclear power plants in the Carolinas have been taken offline. That's to make sure there are no issues. Now, they weren't completely evacuated, so there are some emergency personnel at those nuclear power plants. The storm still is expected to impact them. However, they were taken offline, all of them, as a precautionary security measure. Good question. Thank you so much for asking me. Appreciate that. Another question coming in from Chrissy Embody saying, is Parris Island going to be any danger? You'll probably get some rain, increased winds, but as of right now, the storm track is not expected to turn any further south, so you should be okay. Rel Breezy, she needs to announce everything else since no one does it right. Thank you. Appreciate your vote of confidence right there. Let's see. Megan Daughter, you're also hearing of another death. We will check on that, but right now this is the only one that we heard of, the one out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Monica Collins asking about Statesboro. You're in the clear right now. Actually, Statesboro is one of the few areas we're not even sure if you're going to get rain, so you are okay right now. All right, so let me move on to other news. Of course, if you want all weather news, you can always go to our website, but we do have two other shootings to get to. I know, you're thinking, who's shooting right now? It's happening. So right now, Savannah police are actually investigating the deadly shooting of a 19-year-old man that happened around 10:15 last night. Officers responded to the hospital, Memorial Health, after Devardrius Dixon was dropped off at the hospital entrance. He died as a result of his injuries. Right now, they are still investigating because they don't know who shot him or any of the circumstances surrounding that shooting. There's also another shooting that's being investigated right now, this one involving a child. Savannah police are asking for help to figure out how a 10-year-old girl got shot at the Fraser Homes on Gwinnett Court. This shooting happened around 7:15 last night. Police tell WTOC that the girl was playing outside with a friend when she got hit. WTOC has also confirmed that she's being treated at a local hospital for her gunshot injury. Police have not made an arrest right now. However, if you know anything, you're asked to call police or Crime Stoppers if you have any information. Again, two people being shot, a 19-year-old man dying, and a 10-year-old girl in the hospital right now. I know we have a lot of information that we've given you. I want to remind you guys, our website, WTOC.com, is a treasure trove of information. We have a hurricane center there. If you go to the weather tab and just hover above it, school closings, childcare closings, radar, hour-by-hour updates, videos, and by the way, our apps also have a lot of this information. Thank you guys for joining me. I certainly appreciate it, and as always, you can reach us 24/7, rain or shine or hurricane, on WTOC.com and our social media pages. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.